It's a big reversal for Mrs May and a very big gamble. But she says the only way to end the political bickering over the best Brexit strategy is to let the people decide.
Division in Westminster will risk our ability to make a success of Brexit, and it will cause damaging uncertainty and instability to the country. So we need a general election, and we need one now, because we have at this moment a one-off chance to get this done while the European Union agrees its negotiating position and before the detailed talks begin.
Well, let's get right to our reporters in London. CNN international diplomatic editor Nic Robertson is outside 10 Downing Street, and Isa Soares is steps away from Parliament getting reaction from MPs there to this bombshell announcement. First, I want to go to Nic. Looking at Theresa May's political calculations, how much does she stand to gain from this snap election?
Well, she potentially stands to gain a bigger majority in the House of Parliament. Right now, she has a majority of 17. That would strengthen her hand when it comes to voting on any issues and any outcome of negotiations with the European Union. And it perhaps it strengthens her hand as well, because looking forward to the next general elections as they were originally planned, as Theresa May said, that they would have been coming just as the tough part of the Brexit negotiations were underway. So she's sort of delinked those two events that could have weakened her Conservative Party going into what would have been the expected elections in 2020. So at the moment, she stands to gain because she stands to have a stronger political hand to deliver the Brexit that she wants to deliver. That's the so-called hard Brexit, if you will.
And Nic, no doubt she has given this a lot of thought, given that she rejected this notion at least 6 or 7 times before.
She made it very clear quite recently as well that this wasn't her intended path. She said that she's arrived at this decision after some reflection and thought. She was walking in the countryside in Wales over Easter. But the reality is that what Theresa May said she would do, which was to deliver Article 50, trigger Article 50 by the end of March, she did. She would have known that there was an opportunity over Easter, a break from the rigours of Parliament, an opportunity to reflect a little bit, an opportunity to look at the polls, and an opportunity, as she has said here, to get in this election before the real negotiations begin, which were expected the end of May, beginning of June. So the window of opportunity she will have known was there to make the calculation whether or not she wanted to do this, and if she did, to go ahead with the election, the space and time was available. So this seems to be something that, although this is a complete turnaround from what she has said in the past, the space to make this decision, she would have been aware that it was there all along if she chose to go for this option. And she has. And this, as the critics say, is in her interests, not the nation's, because this will strengthen her party potentially, because the polling for the opposition party, Labour Party, looks so bad at the moment, Lynda.
All right, Nic, just stand by for us. I want to go to Isa. Theresa May needs support from about 2/3 of the House of Commons to approve the move to dissolve Parliament. So will she get that tomorrow?
Oh, she is expected to get that from everyone I've been speaking to, from Labour, from Conservatives, from the Lib Dems, from the Scottish as well, the National Party. They've all been saying she will get it. You know, we've never heard really of anyone turning around and saying, actually, we don't have a chance of trying to win and campaigning hard, Lynda, this general election. So everyone has been saying pretty much she will get the support, the votes tomorrow, the 2/3 that is needed for that election to be triggered. Of course, that then means they have, as of tomorrow, they have 50 days or so of hard campaigning ahead. But I want to continue what Nic Robertson was saying. You know, this is interesting timing, Lynda, because we have Theresa May basically saying, vote Conservative if you like my vision for Brexit, and now what you need to, what we'll be seeing, expect to see at least from Labour as well, Lib Democrats, is they're winning. What is their winning vision of Brexit? Which way are they going? We know that Labour Party, the opposition party, is facing major rifts within their own party. Can they unite behind Jeremy Corbyn, the leader? They lost a lot of ground in the heartland, northern heartlands of the country. Can they go back to those grassroots and trying to revive the support? That's going to be crucial, but they don't have much time left. So interesting the timing that Theresa May went for it, called it at a time when perhaps opposition are weakest. But Liberal Democrats coming out today basically saying, Lynda, we've got a different vision. We want to stay in the single market and we want to be part of Europe. It's interesting to see how the campaigning will continue.
Yeah, certainly very interesting times, and good to see you out there getting the reaction there. Isa Soares, thank you very much. Just one final one for Nic. You mentioned some of the opinion polls earlier. The Labour Party, led by Jeremy Corbyn, now at its lowest, historically low record levels, apparently since the 1930s. What can Labour possibly do to gain ground over the next few weeks heading into this snap election?
It's very hard to see that they can turn around the weak opinion polls right now, particularly for leader Jeremy Corbyn. This is a position that the Labour Party, more broadly speaking, has been fully aware of. He's faced, opposition in the ranks of his own party inside Parliament. He's gone through a whole succession of shadow cabinet members of people who have fallen by the wayside because they, quite frankly, don't support him. Is in a very, very weak position politically. The proposition that is put forward to fight this election on so far, and it's been very interesting to see that the Labour Party has very quickly come out appealing for funds to campaign on, because they say the Conservative Party relies on funding from multi-millionaires. The campaign that Corbyn says he will fight on is one that sounds so familiar because it's the campaign that has been leading in the opposition so far, which is that this government isn't delivering economically for the vast majority of the population, that it isn't solving the crises in funding for education, in funding for healthcare. So in essence, he isn't changing his message going into this election campaign, and it's a message that hasn't been resonating with his broader base so far. The challenge to Corbyn's leadership remains something of a sort of an ongoing revolt, if you will, for want of a better expression, within the Labour Party inside Parliament. So, it doesn't seem at the moment that Corbyn really and that Labour can really expect to pick up seats. It just seems improbable at the moment. Not impossible, improbable.
All right, Nic Robertson, our international diplomatic editor outside 10 Downing Street. Thank you very much.